Hi, Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper. Whoo-wee, this is going to be fun. I got a call from a guy in Texas who I believe got his eagle probably about 60 years ago. And he had a great collection, stuff from his dad and his brother and himself. And he sent it to me on preview. What that means is I'm going to take a look and see what he's got, make him a fair offer to purchase it. But what I can tell you that's really got me excited about this collection is he said the bulk of the stuff in here is from his dad, and his dad was a Scoutmaster from Texas to the National Jamborees in 1953, 1957, 1960, and 64. So for 4 different Jamborees, his dad was Assistant Scoutmaster. And he told me, I forgot what he said exactly, but basically like there's nothing in these boxes that is older than 1965, I think it's what he told me. So you know, I was born in 73, so I'm like, wow, this stuff is really, really old to me. So I can't wait to see what's in here. I know it's going to be a great collection. Holy cow, this is going to be an amazing collection. I kind of knew that from talking to the guy, and he did send me some pictures of it, but I know I'm going to be blown away by this collection. So, gosh, I don't even know what to grab first. And so, here's just a bag right here. And, you know, there's a lot of trading that happened at these Jamborees. And so, as I kind of pull this Ziploc open, for example, I can see some OA patches in here. Right in the back, I can see one from my area. So there's and that's a pretty common patch that you'll see from Occoneechee Lodge and Raleigh, North Carolina. They traded those rounds around quite a bit. But then there's also some more here that are in saran wrap, which is just kind of neat because back in the day, like you said, pre-65, this would have been the way that people would have really preserved patches from bugs and odors and things like that. And it's a really good sign for this collection that right off the top, I'm seeing things that were really, really taken care of very well. It tells me that everything in here probably was stored in an air-conditioned type environment where there's really not going to be a whole lot of damage to the goods, and so that's great. You can see here again, the bulk of this collection is going to be from the dad, and so here he was from Region 9, a Texas guy in 1960. He was at the Jamboree and has some of these Jamboree patches. Again, here's a Region 9 patch, so we should see a lot of that type of stuff in here. And then again, just to tell the story, this patch helps as well. 1964 National Jamboree, again, the Region 9, their sort of contingent patch. So that's very cool. Now, I'm seeing a lot of Order the Arrow patches, which you know I'm a big fan of because I grew up as an Order the Arrow collector. And so that's really great to see. Again, just everything kind of individually packaged, which is just so interesting to come across. Big bag of patches here. Gosh, you know, this might be a really long unboxing if I'm going to go through every bag, but I know you guys are just as excited to see what's in here as I am. Some stuff from Philmont there. Also some other general patches, camp patches. This is a scout camp, I think, down there that way. I don't know about camps as well, but golly, I mean, this is just unbelievable. Like this one bag here, I'd take a little while to go through that, but let's just kind of keep going. All right, so this is what you would expect to see in a Jamboree collection, and this bag appears to be all stuff that's sort of official Jamboree issues. I really won't go through here very much because Jamboree stuff, I seem to get it in every collection, but there is a pretty cool patch right here that I can try to pull out for you. And that would be the 1953 Jamboree jacket patch. So just a cool story there. The jacket patch only came sewn on a jacket. They didn't sell it as a loose piece. And it was the first year they had a jacket patch. So that one's pretty good. Collectors like to go for that. It is sewn, which is very authentic. That's how it would have come because those were all sewn on jackets. All right, this will be a fun bag to go through. So as you can tell, this bag is all Order the Arrow flaps. And starting back in the 1950s, the flap on the pocket was where collectors or where scouts had their OA insignia. And so there's a whole bag of that. This looks to be like patches from Area 9, which would be Back in the old days, pre-1972, the whole country was divided into 12 regions, and Area 9 was kind of that Texas, Oklahoma region. There might have been parts of New Mexico. I don't have that all memorized. And so within that, they would have had like 9A, 9B, 9C. These would have been like, you know, breakdown sections, areas, I think is what they call them, yeah, areas. And so this is a bag of Order of the Arrow, what we would call, they either call them fellowships or conclaves from that. I actually collect this. I have a collection of all across the country pre-1972 original 12 region OA conclave patches. And the Texas ones are hard to come by because those guys are pretty serious about their patches. And so these will be great. Some of those will go into my collection. I also see another patch here I pull out. Again, I won't go through all the bags because there's just too much, but let me just pull this out to show you guys. So that is a pretty cool dance team jacket patch. So another thing that happened back in those days were Native American, Indian affairs, as we call it today. That stuff was really, really big deal, and many, many lodges had dance teams, and they oftentimes would have insignia for their dance teams. And so this one's from Lodge 499, which if I might mess this up, I think that's a lodge in Kentucky that's long merged, but that's a cool piece right there. Anytime you can get a dance team piece, that's really cool. Again, I'm just seeing more Order of the Arrow stuff in here. These look to be like maybe camp patches. Again, I won't break this open and see what all's in here. Some more patches here. There's some neckerchiefs folded up. And then down in here we have something that looks like an Eagle Scout case. So let me pull this out. He sent me a picture of this, and what was kind of interesting was he wasn't sure whose Eagle medal this was. So here's a nice Eagle Scout medal, and you know, I thought, well, it could be your brother's or yours, and he didn't seem to suggest that. So, but again, his dad was a Scoutmaster, so there's no telling, you know, maybe he could have run across an extra one. Bag of neckerchief slides here, some more stuff. This bag has stuff that's wrapped up, so my guess is these are ceramics. I often see that with neckerchief slides. The BSA issue a lot of ceramic neckerchief slides, so I think that's what he's got here, a bunch of ceramic neckerchief slides. Getting down into the bottom, here's a whole stack of neckerchiefs. Again, you know, Scouts won't always count up with the politically correctness of today, so there's a little Confederate flag neckerchief. Seen a lot of those from back in the day. These are some other council and activity patches, neckerchiefs. More neckerchiefs, Philmont Scout Ranch, more camp neckerchiefs in here. More neckerchiefs. Here's a Philmont, I believe that's a pillowcase or something like that. Longhorn Council. So I think if we look at the OA flaps, we could very quickly figure out which one he was from. Now, what in the world? It looks like there's a rug in the bottom, so you know I gotta pull this out. Oh my gosh, I've never seen that. It literally is a small rug. Made expressly for Columbia Montour Council BSA, and then look on the back, it's got that on the back too. 1964. Never seen anything like that before. That is crazy. What in the world? Here's some envelopes that are labeled with camp, so I don't know what's in here. Maybe this is like, oh, okay, these are neckerchiefs. They put the neckerchiefs in here, and they were kind of protected by the different camps. Here is a Silver Beaver program, and this is from Longhorn Council. So safe to say this collection is from the Longhorn Council, and some more stuff down in the bottom. Whole another bag of just sort of the insignia and stuff. Now the crazy thing about it, guys, is I've gone through this box. This box by itself would be an amazing collection for me to land, but there's more because there's a bigger box sitting right here. So if you'll give me a second, I'm gonna set this one to the side and we'll kind of keep going. Let's see what kind of picture we get here. Alright, so the last big box looks like it's going to be full of uniforms, jackets, that kind of thing. I don't see any patches in here, but you can kind of see if I pull this out, we have some great wool jackets. These are the red jack shirts. And what's kind of interesting about this is that the one with the white was actually for women. So for a time, the white bull represented a female scouter who would go out there, and these are in just terrific condition. These basically are still used today, although the quality of them is not what it used to be. That's a size 38. I will definitely be able to recycle that. And then this one I'm guessing is a little bit bigger. Let's see what size this is. Got gosh, oh, size 44. Okay, so that's another good adult-sized jacket. So those are beautiful pieces right there that can definitely do something with. And then we'll see what else is in here. We have a couple of red jackets. So these would have been jackets that would have been worn at, for example, Jamborees. Sometimes on the back you'll see, yep, here we go, a 64 Jamboree patch on the back, and that's a nice red jacket patch. There might be a Jamboree one, yep, another 64. So that's when those guys were used. Then we have some uniform shirts here. I'll just grab and pull out. And we can kind of take a look at these guys, okay? So this family that you can see here again, their lodge and the lodge number there. This again, you can see by the shirt, we have silver beaver knot. So this probably again was the dad's shirt, and it's Longhorn Council in Texas, okay? So there's that guy. Then we have here an Eagle Scout shirt. That's a different, that's Sherman Area Council, Lodge 56, but again, an Eagle Scout shirt, probably from the 1950s, just judging by that. A little bit later on, you have an Explorer shirt, 1960 Jamboree, that's also a 1960 strip there, and again, the Lodge from there, and again, Longhorn Council on that guy. Again, I can only suppose this would be the dad's shirt because the son didn't stick with it he basically went to the Jamboree and then that was kind of the end of his time in scouting. But here's the dad, would have gone to the 64 Jamboree, and again, you'd see these other adult patches on here. Similar here, my guess is this would have been the gentleman that I was dealing with, that this would have been his shirt because no adult knots here, so this would have been a Youth Explorer shirt, but for the 64 Jamboree in with the matching lodge flap. So that's probably his shirt. This is probably his shirt as well, because when you go to the Jamboree, usually you would have 2 or 3 uniforms put together. So that's my guess there. Then this would have been, again, the dad, and once again, the dad here. So again, kind of like the dad had multiple shirts to go to that Jamboree. This one's just an Eagle Scout. And then, like I said, mixed in with this is, boy, they had a lot of shirts for the 64 Jamboree, unless they just kept swapping their shirts out, you know, because I don't see like a 1957 or 53. So he may have just Captain Kid Mate. I've seen that patch before. I'm just not that familiar with it. I'll have to do a little research on that. Some more stuff in here. There's some neckerchiefs. These are some Lodge neckerchiefs from Lodge 489. That's really cool. Some belt buckles and belts here. This would be that's got to be from a foreign country, but I'm not sure what country he got that beret from. Let me show you this one because we actually had a nice little conversation about this. He told me the story about this flap. So back in the 60s, this blue heron flap from Tidewater Council in Virginia was considered one of the most beautiful flaps out there. And it was really, really hard to trade for them at Jamborees because this was kind of like a 1 per person or 1 per life kind of deal at the time. And I guess either he traded for it or his father traded for it, but he was very he wanted to make sure I knew that he had one of these blue heron flaps. And you can see that with this shrink wrap, it's just excellently taken care of. He also has a couple of other flaps here. And then this beautiful, beautiful Micanaqua, which is another Texas Lodge, he has their neckerchief. And then of course this is another one matching this blue heron. He wanted to make sure I knew that he had that neckerchief as well. So just some cool stuff that I remember him talking about, and I wanted to sort of show you guys. Bunch of Garrison caps. Love getting these Garrison caps. Scouts today love wearing those. I think it's so vintage and cool. Couple of merit badge sashes. My guess would be that one of these would belong to him and one belonged to his brother. And so the way I can kind of tell those apart is that his brother has the sash that starts off matching the 1950s with this style of merit badge, and then transitions into that twill, and then his are all from the 1960s. And so that sort of matches there with the story I was told. And then this is really cool to get. You might not think things like this are special, but if you think about it, you know, who saves 50-year-old Scout t-shirts in the original packaging? So that one actually was worn, but then he folded it and put it back in the original packaging. And so these are from Longhorn Council, Worth Ranch, a staff shirt. Here's a 1960 Jamboree shirt, a 64 shirt. So that's really cool that he kept these. I know somebody would love to get those. And then a couple more things in here, and I will basically have emptied the box. So we will have finished this. He wanted to make sure I knew about this felt Brotherhood sash. So let me throw this up and show you guys. So the felt Brotherhood sash, probably from the 40s. And that's a pretty cool piece. And then there's some Jamboree neckerchiefs here that we've probably seen, a Philmont neckerchief, that kind of thing. A couple of things here, I'm sure these are from Philmont. You get these little wall hangers. I've seen a lot of those in lots of collections. So this is a great collection, very excited to get it. I will reach out to the guy today. I just got this yesterday from my UPS store. I'll reach out to him today and make a deal to buy this stuff, and I'll be very happy to get into it. Jason Spangler, the SanteeSwapper. Go to my website, scoutpatchcollectors.com. There you can find other unboxing videos, my podcast, newsletter that I send out to collectors, all that good stuff. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.